Hey YouTube, Andy here. Over the last year, I've gotten pretty into e-biking. I love the freedom that you feel and the connection that you feel to the machine. But that doesn't mean there aren't things that can be a little bit of a drag, like getting flat tires. I do use sealant, but sometimes it still happens, and you need a way when you're out and about to get your tire reinflated. Obviously, the little portable hand pumps are an option, but those are pretty annoying to use and take a lot longer than a full-size floor pump. So, one alternative that I've been pretty impressed with after picking one up for $44 on Amazon is a portable air compressor. Mine is the Woowind LP1, so let's go ahead and take a look at it and see how it works. Its full name is the Woowind LP1 tire inflator, and as the name suggests, this is a tire inflator, specifically a portable battery-powered air compressor with a digital pressure setting. Let me get it out of the way that I realize this is a device that can be used with non-e-bikes too. However, it is a bit heavy, and the weight penalty on e-bikes is naturally lower, so I suspect e-bike riders are most likely to want to carry this around. It can be used on cars too, though I feel like a larger unit would make more sense for a car. With that out of the way, let's take a look at what Woowind has built for us. I've long since tossed the packaging, so you'll have to imagine minimal but fine packaging with color graphics of this relatively colorless product. The item itself comes in a faux leather-ish carrying bag. The bag feels nice, but the drawstring is very tight to loosen and cinch, which has resulted in it starting to feel a little bit weird with not that much wear. Since the bag feels necessary to protect the LP1 when traveling, I would prefer if it was a little bit of a nicer bag. Removing the LP1 from the bag, it's a fairly nondescript black cylinder that looks like a Bluetooth speaker and has a pleasing beveled design on the ends. One end features air intake vents, while the other offers built-in storage for your hose, which does stick out a bit, the connector for the hose, and a USB-C charging port, which does work with high-wattage laptop chargers. On the side, we get the button array, which includes a power button, plus and minus buttons, a mode button, and a unit button. Holding the power button starts the power-up process, which completes after all three bars appear. Once the LP1 is powered on, you can see the screen indicating your currently selected mode and target pressure. If the hose is attached to a tire or other inflatable, the top value will indicate the current pressure. With the screen on, we can take a look at the function of the buttons. Pressing the mode button allows you to switch between car, motorcycle, bike, ball, and custom profile modes. I haven't tested this on any deflated balls yet, but it's nice to have options. Pressing the unit button allows you to toggle between PSI, bar, kPa, and kilograms per square centimeter. Or maybe cubic centimeter, but I'm pretty sure it says square centimeter. When you're ready to use the LP1, say you get to that beautiful destination that you rode to only to find that a slow leak has left your tire a little bit squishier than you prefer, operation is quite as simple as you'd expect. You'll remove the tube from the storage slot and screw it in at the connector, making sure to fully tighten it, but there's no need to go nuts here. Once that's done, the other end will screw onto your tire valve. I do sometimes find it a bit tricky to get the threads to catch, but a little bit of patience in getting it lined up has never let me down. Once you're attached, you can power on the LP1 if it wasn't already, and you should see any air pressure currently in the tire. Having a seemingly accurate digital pressure gauge built in is one nice perk of this device. Since the hose screws in, there's no need to fiddle with holding an air pressure sensor at a perfect angle to try and get a reading. Once you've used the plus and minus buttons to set your desired pressure, you can press the power button once and the LP1 will start inflating, as you can hear. Yeah, we're screwed in, so we're going to go ahead and hit it. And you're going to hear now how loud it is, because I'm just going to keep on talking. And this is a miniature air compressor, so I'm outside in a big open space. It's not too bad here. The noise factor is one downside of the Woowind LP1. Despite its small size, this very much sounds like an air compressor and gets pretty loud, though not uncomfortably loud, even indoors. Inflation is not as fast as a larger air compressor, but doesn't take too awfully long, especially if you compare this to a portable hand pump, which is really where this product shines to me. Getting flats out and about on an e-bike sucks. I use sealant, but sometimes it still happens, and when it does, I need some way to get rolling again. While decent home pumps will inflate a tire much faster than the LP1, I found it considerably faster, more reliable, and way less annoying to use than portable hand pumps, which always leave me hating life a bit. Just sitting around and having a drink of water while the tire inflates on its own is a nice alternative. When the tire is done inflating, the hose will be quite warm, as foretold by the hot label attached to it. I've never had it get problematically hot, but that might be more of an issue if you use this to inflate a car or motorcycle tire. You can then stow the hose away, which does click in securely, so it shouldn't be going anywhere as you carry this around. As for battery life, I try to always keep my rechargeable devices relatively topped up for use, so I haven't run it all the way down yet. Based on what I've seen, I'd estimate it inflates by 27.5 by 2-inch tires to 48 psi, around 10 to 15 times from flat. I'm basing this on a trip where I did have a pretty bad leak and had to limp to a service station for some slime, refilling my tire 5 times along the way. On that trip, it dipped down to 2 bars out of 4 after the last fill up, and I had used it twice before that trip since I had charged it, so that's a total of 7 inflations, using up right about half the battery, so that's why I'm guessing 10 to 15 total bike tire inflations. As for charging the LP1, I use my laptop 68-watt USB-C charger, and it seems to support charging at a pretty high rate because I never really feel like I'm waiting on it to finish charging like I do with some devices. And getting to price, well, it's right there in the title. There are lots of different versions of this type of product around, so you may be able to find a better deal on something else like this that's not exactly this. It's definitely a bit pricey compared to a travel hand pump, but factoring in the ease of use and the extra features like the digital pressure gauge, I found it worth it. It'll be especially worth it if it holds up over time, as I admit I have also been lazily using this in cases where I could easily use my full-size manual pump. Being able to program a pressure level and just let it go is simply too convenient not to enjoy. I'll also make sure to comment if I do have any long-term reliability issues. Alright, well I think that about does it for my thoughts on the Woowind LP1. Let me know if you've got any questions about it, or if there's anything else that you think I should take a look at. Hope this video was useful, or at least hope you kill a little bit of time. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching.